Every English learner makes the same mistake, not occasionally,
consistently,
for months or years, without realizing it. And this one mistake is the reason that effort does not turn into progress, that study time does not turn into fluency, that good intentions do not turn into results. Today I am going to tell you what that mistake is, and how to stop making it. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is blocking your progress, why your current approach may be working against you, and the one shift that makes every future study session dramatically more effective. So slow down, listen carefully, and let's begin. Lesson 1. Studying without intention. Here is the mistake. Most English learners study without a clear intention for each session. They sit down. They open an app, a textbook, or a video. They study for an hour. Then they close it and feel like they did something good. But what did they actually want to achieve in that session? What specific ability did they want to improve? What would success look like at the end of the hour? Most people cannot answer these questions because they never ask them. Nir Eyal, in his book Indistractable, describes the importance of being intentional about how you spend your time. Without a clear intention, you are reactive. You do whatever feels easy in the moment, and easy rarely produces meaningful progress. The same principle applies to language learning. Without intention, you drift. You choose comfortable content. You practice what you already know. You avoid what is difficult. And the gaps in your English stay exactly where they are. Think about two learners who both study for 1 hour. The first opens a podcast and listens. It is interesting. She understands most of it. She finishes feeling good. The second sits down with one clear goal. Today I want to practice using past tense in conversation. She listens to a podcast and writes down every past tense sentence she hears. Then she records herself using those same patterns. After 3 months, the difference between them is enormous. Not because of talent, because of intention. Remember this. Before every study session, write down one specific thing you want to improve. One skill, one pattern, one ability. Then design the session around that intention. Lesson 2. Too much input, not enough output. Here is the second part of the mistake. Most English learners consume far too much and produce far too little. They watch videos. They listen to podcasts. They read articles. They absorb content for hours every week. And they rarely speak, rarely write, rarely produce English of their own. Input is important. You cannot speak a language you have never heard. But input alone does not create fluency. At some point, your brain needs to practice producing the language, not just receiving it. Think about learning to cook. You can watch cooking videos for hundreds of hours. But until you stand in the kitchen and cook yourself, the skill does not transfer. The watching and the doing are completely different activities. English is the same. Listening and speaking use different neural pathways. Reading and writing develop different skills. You cannot build output ability through input alone. There was a learner named Leo. He had watched English YouTube videos every day for 2 years. His listening was excellent. He understood almost everything he heard. But when someone asked him a question in English, he froze. The words would not come. He had built a large passive vocabulary, but he had almost no active vocabulary. He knew words when he heard them, but he could not produce them when he needed them. He changed his ratio. For every 30 minutes of listening, he spent 15 minutes speaking, recording himself, describing what he had just heard in his own words. Within 2 months, his speaking improved more than in the previous 2 years. Here is what works. For every hour of input, add at least 30 minutes of output. Speak, write, produce. Let your brain practice using the language, not just receiving it. Lesson 3. Staying in the comfort zone. Here is the third part of the mistake. Most English learners only practice what they already know. They choose content that feels comfortable, podcasts they can follow easily, grammar they already understand, conversations on topics they know well, and they wonder why they never quite break through to the next level. Comfort is the enemy of growth. When learning feels easy, your brain is not being challenged. It is practicing existing skills, not building new ones. Real progress happens at the edge of your ability, just beyond what you can currently do. In the material that is slightly too fast, the grammar that is slightly confusing, the conversation topic you have never had to discuss in English before. That edge is uncomfortable. That is exactly why most people avoid it, and exactly why most people plateau. Start here. In your next study session, choose one thing that is slightly beyond your current level. One podcast a little too fast. One article a little too complex. One conversation topic outside your usual range. Stay with it. Struggle through it. And notice what happens to your ability over the following week. Lesson 4. Study with intention. Every single time. Here is how everything comes together. The mistake every English learner makes is not studying too little. It is studying without intention, without enough output, and without enough challenge. Fix these 3 things and the same amount of study time will produce dramatically different results. Before every session, set one intention. During every session, produce as well as consume. And in every session, include something that pushes you just beyond your comfort zone. These are not complicated changes. They do not require more time. They require more awareness, more purpose, more honesty about what is actually helping you grow. Think about where you want your English to be in 1 year. What would you need to practice to get there? Are you practicing that now? If not, today is the day to change. You have been working hard. Now start working with intention. Train your mind and keep becoming.